time to change, and time to change. But the problem here is people need to understand exactly what this is about. This is about life. See, in the last video, I talked about something like showing signs around the symbols, showing uh, this um, satanic shit of system. And you see how that it's brought uh, uh, it's this is crime. It's what it says, and then this is to alert people about this because people don't understand what's going on, accept everything. And they shouldn't, but they don't know. See? And then there is another thing that some piece of shit of this uh, satanic organization, this mafia groups, that is, I know, and he wrote in blue. You see, again, he wants to show what he serves, the satanic agenda. Now, I already show you signs, but the change is happening. Some signs, there's plenty of, but the thing is, you need to understand what this is about. Um, Satanic system is about um, opposing everything, basically uh, life itself, creation. Uh, but in the first place is to destroy human being, and because they they wanted to be in our place. They wanted to be like humans, but with power. So they they think they are superior because they have powers that we don't have. But you see, life is not about power. It's about care. It's about spirit that they want to hide. Uh, well, now they are. They've been doing so much that in a simple way, they at least since the end of the Second War, they have been um, developing the chemical industry and other things. But, they've been throwing us a bunch of poison all the time in every way, from agriculture to food industry, pharmaceutical, cosmetics, and so on. And then also tape, water tape, and the chemtrails, everything. They, well, so what happened is people have been day by day more sick. Uh, and what is in question in the first place is the energy. People have been losing their energy. That is the situation. And that's why they have diseases more and more. But of course, there are the things like um, putting ourselves working in a bad situation, um, and things like OGMO, uh, modified, uh, modified products. You know, they manipulate everything basically. So we see we see somehow eating, drinking shit ourselves are receiving wrong information. Then there are other things like, for instance, um, the music industry. They changed the records from the best um, frequency um, to the worst frequency for our health. This is an example. And so there are things you should know. That, like, for instance, about the frequency thing. We are, everything is around, exists around the frequency, energy, uh, and so there are some information if you research about this. For instance, you can find registrations, experience around water, freezing water, around rice and things like that, where people um, put some different frequencies into that, and then that's basically the water. It's what is basically what is in stake here. And the water showed the result because water is life itself. It's not life. It's about life. It's basically it's like a mirror. It has memory, and so um, what you put there, that responds exactly to that. So you should understand what energy you should put in your water. See? Mhm. And then you have concepts like love and so on. And so we see what is at stake is energies, different frequencies, different frequencies that you can put in water, and water gives you in return the same thing. You see, so it's like an investment. Well, uh, so you see what is life. It's not about it's not about what the system tell people on the opposite. Exactly. If you want to know the truth, just invert everything. Basically, it's what it is. And so, what they present people is the opposite, is death. And that is what they want to people. They want people dead. That's why before this era, which is the industry era, they had give us wars. First, um, the excuse was religion, then politics in first, and then in the second, with different approach. First, with the ideas like um, um, uh, well, like identity and friends, things like that, more or less. Then, in the Second War, around the ideas of the ideology, like uh, the belief in a way about ideology. It's insane. This is an agenda with many years now. But this comes from the Illuminati time. They prepared many things in that time, and they have been developing their agenda. It's like a program. But uh, now uh, the limit of those kind of things showed and imposed uh, a new reality. So now the thing here is basically it's like the truth. Like for instance, uh, you can mix oil with water, but when you stop mixing, the oil comes up. So it's impossible. It's the same. The truth uh, uh, comes to an end where it must reveal itself. It's like that. Uh, now, let's see. So basically, people have no idea what really is life. Um, and as I said, life is about the opposite. It's about energy. It's about consciousness. Basically, that is what life is about. Then ways, the way or the ways um, that the life manifests. For instance, uh, consciousness, first, consciousness. You need to do your work in order to get consciousness. And consciousness is what life is about, and it's something that everybody can and need to look for. It's the universal law. And the other thing is the way life manifests. And so you can choose different arguments, um, different concepts that is always the same. Like, for instance, love. Well, life is about care, so it's much more than love. And an example is about sex. People doesn't know what sex really is about. Sex is not about pleasure. It's much more than that. And I already talked about this, but I want to remind you about sustainability. You see, uh, we need to understand things in order to gain consciousness, uh, and so uh, take the right position, which means, for instance, in this case, um, people need to understand that they have no right to simply put children in this world and then leave them to suffer. And so, not only that, but uh, even for them, uh, people need to understand what what this is about. So, people, uh, if people if people want to have children, um, of course, this is the way life manifests. Uh, so it's normal. People have children, but sometimes people don't, don't have children. That is not a problem. Can be some problem around that, but that is not exactly what life is about. Again, uh, sex is much more than pleasure. Sex is about uh, life celebration. See, so instead, people simply put uh, children in this world. People can live, have a sex uh, life in the best way, which is the right way, which is um, um, enjoy in the way which is um, celebrating life. So, and then uh, you have no excuse to simply put children in the world because just because. No, we need to understand that we are in the same world, and so we need to uh, take care of things in this world. And so sustainability is about that. So people need to understand that um, they should uh, have children around a consideration like have two, three, four, well, more. Yes, it's possible, but we should consider uh, some compromise in social interests, which is considering everything, the others, everything. So, like the situation around the taxes and other things about rights, you see, rights. Before rights, there are duties. So, you need to understand this. Sustainability is not something that forget it. No, you need to understand what that is. You see, uh, for instance, a place has a limit, and if you put too many people in the same place, well, there will be problems. Doesn't matter now what problems, but there will be problems. That is uh, a situation where we need to consider more than this or that can be too much, something like that. You see? So, you see, there are things we need to consider in order to give the right approach to what life is about. And one thing we should understand is about health. Life is about, again, energy in information. And if you consider really your health, you should consider in this base. And this has to do something very special. Our um, um, I, what can I say this? Our pharmacy, our care, something like that, is inside of us. Is our urine. Yeah, that is our remedy for everything. You see, I talked about an example, vaccines. We shouldn't take vaccines. Any, any. What is at stake? Basically, it's antibodies. We need always to gain antibodies. And we have our medicine inside of us. Now, you see, if you go For instance, if you go out of your country to places where people, where the ambience is critical for us, is completely different. We can have some problems with that. Um, but they say you need a vaccine. That is not true. What people need, they have it inside of them. See? So we need to gain antibodies and we need the help we have inside of it. Simple as that. You should research. There's plenty of information about this today. I'm sure you can find the way. Of course, they don't want that. They want you in ignorance. They use several pieces of shit, YouTube and so on, working for them, putting like videos in YouTube and saying things like, "Oh, Eugene," things like that. Oh, it's this, and like basically everything our health system. They say they were saying long ago things like the sun is good, and they put back then they they put people in hospitals uh, catching the sun because helped them to recover faster. And then with this situation with the chemicals, so basically 30, 40 years ago or something like that, they changed, they start to say something like, oh, the sun is danger. You should protect yourself. Put a hat, put a glass, dark sunglasses. Use this or that poison in your skin. uh, Things like that. See, so they changed the truth. They want to believe what um, what is the truth. Always a lie. I mean, uh, in this case, you see, it's simple. Simple. I talk about um, the big industry today, about cancer, and I show you simple example like uh, there are people in different places like Amazon, Papua New Guinea, and other like Indonesia and so on. There are people living in the jungle where there is no contact, or basically to outside, and they live healthy. They they have no cancer, anything like that, anything. And many people smoke. See, so what is your stake? It's even not tobacco, but chemicals they put there that facilitates the situation, which is called cancer. Yeah. So, you see, life is completely different what people may understand, what the system serves them. And so everything is changing, is going to change. And you may feel some change uh, in near future, like getting more energy, healing, things like that. Yeah. Mhm. Uh, but anyways, um, you should understand you need to um, do your own work in order to get consciousness, understand what really life is about. And so the same about life in this world. You need to gain consciousness and be part of this world in the true uh, way, which is the right way. So, social contracts is not something to, I don't know, to ignore. No, no way. It's something that will be the way. There is no other way. And so people need to understand what is at stake here. Because there is only one way that is right. If the way is not right, is wrong. So, so simple as that. So people need to understand what is at stake. So I hope this can help again and keep well. Till next one.